Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is getting ready for Fraser Island. So it's coming up in time of this video like 8 days. We're going to get everything ready, put on the car. Right now everything is in the car, it's all done, but we're going to go back in time to when I was installing all the mods. Now this is Fraser Island prep work. So car's being serviced right now like crazy, so that's coming together really well. We're doing belts, radiator hoses, we're doing all the extra bits as well. Now the roof, rhino rack awnings on, and the racks on, but we're going to get these max track mounts on. So as you can see, we've got these bad boys, these big boys here, and we're going to bolt them on pretty straightforward. And Dad's just taken off all these bolts down here, so as you can see they just come off, so we're not actually going to need these anymore. And you've got the nice nuts and washers there as well. So we're going to put all this on the car, bolt everything on, and we've also got a shovel to put on as well. And we'll do all the camping lights and the inverter. Hopefully we'll do it all today. We'll see how we go. This is the rhino rack angled max track bracket kit. Now it's all obviously aluminium, and it's all been powder coated as well, so it's not going to get wet in the rain, which will be good. And essentially you get two of these, and the angle, I forgot what they're at, it's not 45 degrees, but they're at a good angle, and you got to space them 800mm apart, and you put them on the roof 890mm apart, and obviously a max track spot on there. And it's got a little spooling bracket on it as well, so that it can't flex or anything. And I've already made one here, so that's how it's going to go on. Now if you want to put 4 tracks on, there's actually an extension bar that goes on that you have to buy separately, but if you got 2 like me, you don't have to, and you just bolt it on like this. And there's also a little slot at the top back up here, and you can actually put the shovel attachment on, and you can have a shovel on as well as max tracks on the one holder, which is a super clean sort of efficient way to fit it all on. When installing these, it's literally your bolt, spring washer, and then that just goes in there like that. Now you've got different levels of how far in and out you want it to be, and you can also go this way as well, so you can go both ways. Now what's crazy is I didn't realize this, but this plate, which looks like a plate, it's actually got a thread in it, and this is theoretically the nut, but as you can see it's a plate. So you have 3 in a row. I've got 2 there, and then essentially this will screw onto there like that. Okay guys, so we're at the roof here. This is why I want it. This is where I had it on my old rack as well, the max tracks. Now this rack's a bit smaller, so hopefully it still looks in proportion. It's not too weird. I'm being very picky, by the way. Now, got our max tracks to reference. 890 is the measure. So put that up there, and we'll slide these in, and hopefully they work pretty well. Okay, so as you can see here, there's that little open slit bit. That's where this will slide in. So because you want to think it's future proofing, so because the slit's here, I'm not going to put that one in first. I'm going to put this one in first. So like so, it should just slit in like that, as you can see, and then it's just going to slide over, and that I can't pull that up anymore, that's in. And then let's say for example that goes there, tighten up all those bolts, and then this one will slide in here. And I can actually decide to go backwards if I want, like to there, which I probably will do so I get more space. And then we'll tighten these all up, get the right distance, and put the max tracks on. Now, I've actually got them on the most forward setting, but they can come out 2 more if you have to. Okay guys, so I've got them on now, and it looks so much better than my old system, and also the angle is less aggressive, so it just looks really nice. Now the rack's a bit smaller, so hopefully it looks in proportion, but super happy with it. And I'll put the max tracks on now, and you can see what it looks like. When they slide on off, they slide a lot more smoother than my old timber setup I had there, so which is good. I didn't expect that. I thought it'd still be the same. But you know, you pop them off, pop it off, pop back on, it's great. So super happy with that. That works really well. On to the next mod. Okay guys, so I've got one up there. It's very easy to install. Now that's the new Stoic system with the Stoic shovel holder as well. So it comes in this nice little box here, and you can use 2 angles on it. You can have it slightly out, slightly in, and it looks better and more nice when it's fully flat like that. So now we're putting the other one and put on the shovel, and I might not put it in the spot permanently. We're just going to trial it and see what it looks like, because it might look a bit funny, and if it does, we'll put it on the front or the back or somewhere else. So we'll trial and error. So here's the box. It's got really nice presentation. It comes with a little card and all that, and as you can see, this is what they come out like, and you can open it up, and that's a separate piece there, and that goes on the roof. So we can leave that aside for now, and we'll get this, and then essentially we're going to put the bolts on it. Okay guys, so here's the mount. So out of these two ones that I want shorter, you get the shorter one and you put that in there like that. And then this will come through this side, right? And then once that's come through, then you will get this, and this will go in there like that. And then this is your back plate, and that sits in there like that. And it will look like that. So as you can see, that's on the back there. And then that's just in like that. So that's solid. And that will slide onto the system that gets put up there. With this, there's two numbers on them. So there's 40 and 35. Essentially, you need to clip the two 35s together like that. And now that is the perfect dimensions of the two holes that line up that way. And then that will go on the roof. And as it goes in, it twists out like that. And that's what forces it against the sides compared to the old squares. So you can put it in flat wherever and then just spin it, which is a really cool system. Alright guys, so pretty straightforward. As you can see, one bolt. So you get this all attached on, slides down. Put your screw in up there, and then it's just good to go. So I'm pretty stoked with the end result of this. And yeah, as you can see, it sort of fits perfectly in that little space. I had it this way and this way, and it looks better the outward way, which is weird because you think it look better with the inward way. But this is literally one of like 4 spots it could go. So we'll just leave it here for now because it's sort of out of the way of everything else. Because if they're ever like, and it's also practical, like you can get off the side. If it was on the front, it's gonna be very hard to clamp because as you can see, look how high it is. And then also there will be a light bar there, so it'll clash with that or whatever. And then if it's on the back, I guess it'll work. But if I want to put ladders on my roof for work or swags or anything, I'm going to be lifting them over the shovel essentially. Whereas here it's out of the way. And the other side has the awning, so it's sort of here or nothing. But yeah, as you can see, it goes in like that. And then I just make sure it doesn't hit the max straps essentially, just so they can still take them off. And then boom. And then with this, I could have put it on this section here, but I'll put it over here where more of the weight is. And then that's on like that, and that's solid. And then, you know, two little hex bolts, so you take that off and like slide on something else. So it's very easy to mess around. And I think it kind of looks a bit better than I thought. There's quite a lot of mods on here now, as before it was quite clean look, which is a good look. But yeah, that's how it is for now, so we'll leave it like that. Now I'm going to do a controversial mod to the car, or maybe being a bit dramatic. Like essentially, I'm going to get rid of that sticker up there. Now, it's been there for 2 years, it's a bit old, it's a bit chipped, and you know, it's a bit blocky, it's got the Instagram icon, that's great and stuff, but I'm going to go down a different path. Now, you guys know the Shed Life and Roam Life stickers. It's like cursive font and it goes near the bottom. That's essentially what I want, but because I'm trying to support myself, not other brands, what I decided to do, it's a bit interesting, but I got the Built Prado sticker but in cursive, and it will essentially, you know, go there. So hopefully I'll be able to apply it now and rest, and then I'll be able to take that top one off, and fingers crossed it looks really good and it doesn't look too weird. Here's the technique: 2 cushions, spread your legs so the bonnet doesn't dent in, and then you get the exact center line that you want. But far out, that was tough. How good does the rack look as well? Look at this, look how much space I still got. Like, even though with all these mods, nothing's on the roof. Literally just got like little brackets. It's great, it looks so good. The eye has a little kink in it, but it could have been a lot worse. I'm not even complaining. First world problems here. Sticker looks great, perfectly in line with the bottom of the black window, and it's centered. Super happy with it. That top one will come off, but the wipers essentially cover it like this, so you can never see it. I've just taken this off, and if you guys at home want to know how to take it off, literally just undo this screw, and then you have to pull it off with all your might. And as you can see, the little like threads in there that line it up are absolutely butchered. So I hope this will go on in the right spot and it won't mess it up too much, and it will still work. Okay guys, so Fraser Island trip's in about 11 days and I'm pretty much getting ready for Fraser Island, which is really exciting. Always wanted to go. So essentially these drawers here are coming out. As you can see, I've taken one out already, and the reason is for that is we just need the storage, and we've already got these 2 down here which can be full of food and like camping, cooking gear, all that sort of stuff. And then the fridge, obviously need that can stay. So the only drama is with my inverter, I was going to put it on the side of this wall here and it's going to work really well. But because this won't be here, I need to figure out another way how to do that. So I've got a piece of ply covered in marine carpet over here. I'm going to somehow mount it here somehow. And then hopefully it can maybe sit on that. And then still have all this space here for storage for other items. So this is the piece I'm planning on using. Now this is actually the other half of this, which I got for free at Facebook Market, which I was pretty happy about. But essentially I want to somehow mount that in there somehow. Have the inverter maybe sitting on this side or something, where it's sort of protected a bit and can still breathe. Very, very, very worst case scenario, we're literally just going to have to somehow mount it flat right here. And at least it'll be out of the way of everything else. So this is the King's 1500 watt pure sine inverter, and these are pretty cheap. They're like $220. They're actually on special for $190 the other day as well. But you're really getting your bang for buck with these. So obviously it's not red arc or anything like that, and you know I probably could have done a partnership with them or whatever, but I wanted to try like what everyone else is sort of using, which is probably this at the end of the day. So get your manual, your positive negative cable, and then the unit itself. So you don't get any screws or anything to fix it on. This is sort of it. But yeah, pretty standard. Like I'm sure you've seen videos about this before, but you get positive negative wires there, and then you get your power on and off switch, USB as well if you want to charge phones or anything else, and then you've got a remote adapter just there. So we're gonna figure out where we want to put this in the car, because as you know, it's a bit confusing now with everything coming out, and I'm running out of options on where to put it. And because it's quite heavy, it needs to be a strong mount. Apparently it's 4.8 kilos, so it needs to go somewhere it can hold that weight. So here's the idea. So cut that now, and now it might sit like that. Brackets will go on like so. Could even do it like that. Not sure why, but just could. And then hopefully that can all bolt down. That will bolt to the top part there, and this can just sit in there, and that will look really good. And the thing about this is the drawers can still go back if they need to, but one thing to seriously notice is that the gap between here and here, it's now sitting out quite far, so the drawer might not fit here. So it's that the battery will stick out further as well. So, but the only way I can really get around that is if I chop off the top, but I need that for that inverter to bolt there, so we just need to start figuring that out. But what I might do is sort of leave it how it is and bolt that all on where it is, because these drawers might never go back in. It's been hours since I last saw you. Finally got it installed, super stoked, and it works great. So right now here we've just got a halogen light here. As you can see, it's very old style. On here it says 240 volt, 150 watts, okay? Now this is really old style. These draw quite a lot, halogen globes. Now the inverter makes a little noise when you turn it on, and then we're gonna plug it in like that. Instant. Now like this is really hot, this is an old style and it's just really inefficient, but that is running like a dream. Now before it was on 12.3, now it's 11.8, so I've dropped, what's that, 0.5, okay, as it's running. But let's turn this off, unplug it, it's going back up. Now it's at 12.1, so it's gone, it's trying to like go back up to what it was before. So yeah, 12.2. So now we're gonna plug a toaster in, which is 800 watts, and we'll see if it works. Okay guys, so toaster's in now. Now this is an 800 watt toaster, like I said before, and we're gonna have bread here. So we'll turn it on and put the toast in. All right, we're on. So 12.3 reading before. Oh, you can hear it running. You hear it running, Dad? So it's now at 11.2. And you can hear the inverter, it's making a little humming noise in the background, so it's actually working pretty hard right now. It's not dropping below 11.2, but we are cooking bread in a toaster in the car, which is the weirdest thing to me. I've never had an inverter before. This is really weird technology to me. I'm still trying to learn a lot along the way. But this is getting hot now, and it looks like it's gonna work. So I think I'll get back to you guys after it's cooked, hopefully. All right, Dad, how's the toast? We're rolling.
Dude, it's toasty.
All right. Guys, that is toast right there. And as soon as it finished, the fans or whatever in the inverter just like stopped. It like automatically turned off, which is nice. And now we read our battery, so it's going back up. It's going at 12.1. It's going to work its way back up. So that's really cool.
Dude, where'd you get these from? These brackets?
From your shed. Yeah. I took 2. Okay guys, so toaster works like a dream, and we've seen that works really well. So now we're going to see if the DeWalt battery chargers work. Now this draws, what was it, 1/2 amp? So this is not a fast charger, it's just a normal DeWalt charger. So we're going to plug this in the inverter like this. Inverter's on. Now this is a DeWalt 5 amp. Now this needs charging. So we'll put this in here. Now so you can see that, but that red light means it's charging. So that works, that's really cool. So now we're going to go to the fast charger, which draws 2 amps. That's right, 2 amps, which is double, which is a lot more. And for reference, the toaster draws 3 amps. So it should work just fine because it's still under what the toaster was doing. So we're going to put this one in, like so. And then we're going to put the battery in. And as you can hear and see, it is fast charging. So that's really exciting. Now at work, if I'm desperate, I can have batteries on the charge while I drive, or as you can see while I'm parked, and go back to here, 12.1. So this is drawing heaps less than the toaster was, or even that light, which is insane. So that's charging, that's really awesome. So it's going to charge everything I need to do, because I'm going to charge the camera battery, which is even smaller than this. So this, as we can see, is run toaster, battery chargers, lights and everything. But we're going to go above the 800 watt toaster. This is a 1250 watt Ryobi vacuum. And on the top here it says 1250 watt. Now, this will do about 6 amps maximum. This is about 5 amps. So this is right on the edge of the limit here. So we're going to see if it cuts out after running for a few minutes, or if it will work perfectly fine. So here we go. Battery's on. Alright, well, seems to work just fine. Pretty much, no dramas at all. I think we need to go bigger than 1250, which is really encouraging. So let's put like a microwave on it. Nah, I'm just kidding, I don't know. Okay guys, look at the wiring I did, by the way. I've taken this cover off. This is the wiring that I had it for the King's like wiring loom that went out to my old lights. And you know what? It's actually a bit neater than I remember it being. But essentially, TerraLoom, the boys at TerraLoom hit me up, and we got their kit going in. So they have a completely different system. This is the battery connector here. As you can see, it's a lot smaller, whereas this is a full-on wiring loom. So we need to take all this out and then essentially install this, and we'll probably just make it poke through that same hole there. But instead of running through here, I'm thinking of opening this window and making it run through there, which will look a lot neater. So that'd be really awesome if I can get away with that. Okay guys, so the lighting. So this is essentially where we're at now. And before I put this all back in and get the inverter on, I want to get the lights all in, because then I have to take this off again. So I've put it on the side like that. This switch doesn't do anything, but there's a hole there, so I just left it there and I can use it in the future. And then this is the TerraLoom Magic Touch switch. So this is the packaging it comes in, and it's pretty cool. It has all these special modes and stuff, so we'll be able to test them all out. So essentially, that's where it's going to sit, and then this will sit like on there like that. And if you want to see the wiring, essentially this is it here, and it runs into here, and then pretty much the wire for the switch runs into the end of here. So now this wire, I'm going to put a cable, I'm going to put one of these on, 3 meter by 1 extension through there, and then this can go up the through window to the roof, and then from there I can use like a 4-way splitter on the roof, and then etc. to get all my lights up there. Okay guys, these are the TerraLoom lights right here. Now they look really good. This is with the rubber, the mount, and the fancy mount it comes with. Now, normally you put them on like that, and you bolt up, it'll be great. But the dilemma is, because of the bracket on this awning, it's 2/3. 2/3 is above and 1/3 below. It's not like all above, like my Trojan awning, like an L-shaped awning. So as you can see, hopefully in camera, the light is just literally just hitting that, and it's probably not going to work. So I either need to A, not use these mounts for now, or B, space it down so it can sort of sit like there somewhere, and I have no idea how I'm going to do that, but that's a big dilemma to come over. And also on the back roof, because the rack's far back, when I put this on, it's just going to shine light onto the roof. It's not going to shine up where we're camping. So it's another thing I have to fix. That one you might be able to just move the whole roof rack back 200 mil, but it might look really funny because the front will just have so much roof before the rack. So many big decisions to make, and we'll see how it goes. It might not work, essentially. Okay guys, look at the bracket I've made. This is so elaborate. So this is a $50 eBay bracket, just generic for rhino racks, and I bought that because I wasn't sure it was going to work. And this is Terralim's one, and I put it upside down, flip that upside down, and I've got the rhino rack dropping system here, and I've just got some random bolts and washers, and it goes in really well. Yeah, I can't install it from that angle and install it from over the top, but essentially this could easily be a permanent solution because it's very well put together. Okay, there we go, it's in. So that's what it looks like. Looks like great, to be honest. I think it's awesome, and I can just slide that, put that wherever I want, tighten it up, and that'll give you light. If it was mounted the way it's meant to be, which is up in here, it'd probably be a little bit higher, look a little bit nicer, but this is still a very nice finish considering it's just random bolts and nuts put together. So really happy with that. Okay guys, so 2 lights are on. The other 2 are very complicated to get on, so I'll figure that out later. Awning's up as well. I was trying to see clearance issues with everything, but it all seems to work really well. So it's getting really late. I've worked for like 9 hours, so I'm going to pack all this up, and yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Okay guys, now in the future now, this is a week later. So essentially last time, these last 2 lights couldn't get on, and it's also because the roof rack is literally like 300 mil back. So went to the Mitre 10, and I bought these 2 little guys here. Now they're 200 mil by 1 mil. Now they've got little ridges because you can actually fold them and maneuver them the way you want them. And then I also just got these brackets like that. So these brackets are for the battery box because we're going to make that not wobble around as much. And it's been a week and I can confirm it does wobble. So that will need some working on. And then with these, we're going to put these on the roof and then put the light on the end of that, which will make it sort of sit like this. And then the light will be where it needs to be. It will look a bit funny and a bit weird, but it's just a temporary solution for Fraser, which is in like 8 days or something. So we're really against the clock now. So we're gonna get this on and hopefully it goes quickly. Okay guys, so if I wanna use the same mounting system for the rhino rack, I've got these eBay little ones here. Now these came with these, and essentially what I'm gonna do is, because the hole's a bit small in here, I'll just drill this hole bigger so that the bolts can then go through it. Now the bolts, which I've just lost apparently, is that big, so they're quite big bolts. There's one there, so that's how big they are, and that will need to go through there like that, and then obviously that will go through there and that will go through the roof rack and hold it up. So that's the plan. So when you get your light like this, you then get this wire, and then if you want to mount it to your bracket, you just poke it through the hole like this, and essentially you want to pull that all the way through, and then you'll find it will just sort of sit like that, and that's when it looks really nice when it all comes together, as you can see, like that. And then now you get the bolts that it comes with, which look like this, and essentially you assemble it together. So the way they have it, I'll just get out of the way, is you do bolt, washer, and then that will go through the light, the rubber, and the mount, like so. So it looks like that, and then you get this little black plastic thing, and then that goes on the back, and it sort of goes inside like that, so it sort of covers it like that, and then you get your little nylon nut and put that on the back like so. So that's a really flush, nice finish, and I really like the look of it. And they're all the same, so if you do one right, you'll get them all right. And then same again, bolt on that in through the hole like that. Plastic mount on there. It's a bit fiddly, but it's not that hard to do. And there you go. So now it looks like that, which is really cool. And then the rubber obviously just helps with the absorption off-road and the mounting, and just a nicer finish. And just so you guys know, it's a really weird mount. Like the fixing is really small. So this is like, I'm not sure you can see this, but this is tiny. This is what I'm using. This and a 8mm socket is what I'm using to tighten them up. Now my socket set's really kind of random. It's got heaps of small stuff in it, heaps of random sizes, so I was able to find this. But you might need to just check in mind, make sure you have it, because this is a 3mm and it's kind of like a small bugle bit looking thing. So that I can then get that in the little bolt there, and then one on the back, and then I can tighten them up. But if I didn't have this socket set, I wouldn't be able to do it. So just keep that in mind. Now another thing is, when you tighten these up, you can actually go too tight because the rubber's just going to constantly squish. So you got to go to a sort of level where you're happy with it. I normally have it so the thread on the other end of the nylock nut sticks out like 3 or so mil, maybe a bit more. Don't do it flush, it's not enough, but you could just keep going if you wanted to, because it's just condensing the rubber. But hence why it protects the light itself, because of all that absorption and stuff. So that is sort of what it's looking like right now, which is pretty cool. So yeah, now we're going to get this on the roof. Okay, so here's what we're looking at right now, and as you can see, I can do it like this, have one here and maybe do another one here, have double mount, or I can just take this out and slide it back here and have it just in the one, and then this little light will mount like that. And then as you can see, that's now going to be within the camping area, make the distance. Now the dilemma I have is, obviously out here is going to be, you know, weaker, and as you can see, it looks a bit ridiculous because it is. Or I can either try and use this and put it back a bit so it's a bit stronger, which might be the best and safest option. It will be back a little bit more, but I want the reassurance that it's not going to like fall off or just move around heaps. So we'll have to see where we go. Welcome to the painting booth. So we're going to hook these on here, and hopefully we can just simply paint these, and while they're dry we're going to sort out the batteries and the battery, because it's like flying around at the moment. Okay guys, so as you can see, I've got them hanging up on the vase ring here, super happy with that, on the little clothes hanger there, and they're now drying off, so they should be nice and black when we come back. So now it is time to do the rear battery setup, so we're going to do that right now and we'll see how it goes. I also got this double adapter from like Foodland. As you can see, I just got a left one, but generally when you use these inverters, you kind of only really want one thing running at a time, because you don't want it to draw so low. But that will be like if I'm just running 2 small appliances, so I can have that on. If not, I can just take it off and chuck it in there nicely. It can just stay back in there. So now the issue we have is this is connected to this, as you can see, but I made this really quickly and it's temporary, and it doesn't look like it, but it's very floppy, and the battery's pulling it this way. So my plan is to essentially get these brackets in here somehow so it sits there, use these instead, build a timber wall at the back and strap the battery down physically so then that won't move anymore, and maybe put a piece of foam behind there so the inverter isn't hitting the window. Okay guys, so we're in the car now, and you can see I've put this bracket here and one there, that triangle in there, so hopefully the battery will just sit in there, and with the strap and the combined force of these extra brackets, I took that bracket off because that bracket was ugly, hopefully it'll be really strong and it will just work really well. Okay, box is now in, as you can see, bracket there, bracket back there. Can't do one here because there's a bracket in there. I could move it over back, but there's no point. Look at this, Freddie. Okay, might not look like moving it much, but it's moving that first, so that's pretty good. It's actually not against the window, never will be, so you don't need to put a foam back there, that's irrelevant. It's always operable by, or I can get my whole hand behind there. So that's solid where it is. I'll put the strap around it as well, turn it back on, that's all finished, which is amazing. So now, just need to get the lights on. Okay guys, so that's fully in now, as you can see. I'm super happy with it, I really like the way it looks as well. It is just temporary as well, because I'll decide to have the drawer in or take it out entirely and run it like this sort of thing. Because the amount of space I'm getting back is ridiculous, but for work there are a lot of tools, not tools, just like random bits and bobs that I don't have in here, because obviously I've got like all my tools in this one down here, but in terms of like fixings and packers and stuff, I've only got the one drawer to play with, and that's half full of nail guns, so I need these. So yeah, this is where we're at. Now what I'm going to do now is to put those two blinds back on the roof with the two lights, and hopefully wires connect pretty easily, and then it should just work. When I hit this button here, it should be on this side, which it is. So pretty stoked, and yeah, let's get it together. Alright guys, how wicked is this? Everything's painted, everything's laid out. 2 bolts, boom, 2 brackets, boom, bolt, boom, and then on the back of that little boy, boom. Plugs already up there, and then this one's a replica. So these are going to whack on the roof, it's going to be great. Hopefully it won't look too funny, and then I've got cable ties from Super Cheap for any wiring needs, just to gather it all together. Okay guys, so I asked Bailey what she thought of it, and she said, really? So I'm not entirely sure. I guess it does look a bit silly, but the plan is that that will sit in there like that. And yes, it's a bit long, but it's all black and silver, and it blends in with everything else. So a little bit offended by her, but I'm gonna leave her aside now and bolt this on. Alright, there it is on. I mean, I know it looks a bit funny, but it gets better. Ready? Dong! No, I'm just kidding, but that's what it looks like for now. But if you're down here on the ground, oh no, it does look pretty silly. It's kind of just floating in midair. But imagine you're pitch black, you're at camp, you won't be able to tell. And the light is making the distance, so the awning, the top pole goes at that spot, so the top pole will go over it, so it won't be blocked. And you know, that's better than nothing. You know, it'll work. It will give light to the back half. Okay guys, so this top one's on there. This is what it looks like, and the wiring now goes under here and into this chaos here, and then this used to sit here, but now it's sitting over here now, and this wire is going through here. And a good win was that originally I thought I'd have to get a 3-meter extension to get this one over there, but now I don't need to. It just reaches with having the 4-way connector up here, as you can see. Alright, so that's what it looks like now. You can see those two are on, and then you got the side ones as well. So I've never had 4 before. I've only had 2 on that side, but now I've got 4, which will be sick. And it is a little bit far to the right, that side, but hopefully at night it won't be too bad because the spread will be good enough. So Fraser Island prep's pretty much done now. The lights are on, racks on, all the mods are on. Most important bit is the inverter and the battery setup, and the rear drawers out. So now I can charge my camera batteries, have toast, all those nice necessities on the island. So pretty stoked that's fully done. Next video might be on Fraser Island. So till then guys, I'll catch you next time.